Hey guys, let's start the electron configuration notes that we started in class. So this first periodic table, you're going to label it as subshells. There we have it. And I'm going to start by labeling each subshell. So the first one I'm going to do is the S subshell. And the S subshell is going to be your first two columns, including helium. Hydrogen down. We said first two columns. And we said it also includes helium. So there we go. The next one that I'm going to label is the P subshell. I'm going to label that as blue. And the P subshell is going to start at boron, which is right here, number 5. It's going to extend to neon, and then it's going to go down. The next one that I'm going to label is the D subshell. I'm going to label that as purple. And the D subshell is going to be basically in the middle. So it's going to start at scandium, right here. It's going to extend all the way to zinc and come down. And the final one is going to be the F subshell. I'm going to label that as pink. Now the F subshell are the last two rows that you see. So there we have it. Now let's go ahead and go to the second periodic table, which is right below it. And let's label that one energy levels. Now energy levels are designated by the letter N. So I'm going to put N equals 1. What this means is that it's going to be the first energy level. I'm going to do this in blue. I'm going to put a little dot next to it. A blue dot. That's going to tell me that everything in blue and this is going to be the first energy level. So the first energy level is going to be your first row, which includes hydrogen and helium. Now let's do the second energy level, which I'm going to choose to use green. Your second energy level is going to be your second row. Now let's work on the third energy level. So that is N equals 3. And that I'm going to use purple for that one. And similar to the other ones, it is in the third row. However, it is also the first row within the D subshell. So it's going to look like this as well. So again, the third energy level is the third row on the periodic table, but it also extends down here. Let's do the fourth energy level. N equals 4. I'm going to use pink for that one. So similar to the other ones, it is the fourth row right here. And over here on the right. It's also going to be right below the third energy level in the D subshell. And it's going to be the first row of the F subshell, which is right here. Now let's do the fifth energy level. I'm going to do that in orange. Right here. And just like the other ones, it is the fifth row. It extends right below the fourth under the D subshell. And it is also in the F block, or the F subshell. Let's do the sixth energy level. Again, it is the sixth row. It extends right below the fifth in the D subshell. It extends here over on the right. And now the final one, the seventh energy level, which is this on the S subshell and on the P. So the first thing that you need to know is within each energy level, so within these rows over here, every 2 columns, so every 2 element cards, right here and right here, that is 1 orbital. So let's go back to this periodic table. Right here, we see that we have 1 orbital, because that's 2 element cards, 2 orbitals, and 3 orbitals. So we know that this is the p subshell, and the p subshell does have 3 orbitals. The other thing that you need to know is that each column is going to hold 1 electron. So within the energy level, so within these rows that we have, one of those element cards or one of those columns is going to hold 1 electron. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons. So we know that the p subshell also holds a maximum of 6 electrons. Let's go ahead and write that down. Alright, so within each energy level, every 2 columns is 1 orbital. Second part, we know that each column holds a maximum of just 1 electron. And let's do a small recap of what we have been learning in class. So the s subshell, it holds 2 electrons. I am abbreviating electrons as this E negative. And we know that the s subshell has 1 orbital. So if we look here, every 2 element cards or 2 columns, that is 1 orbital. So the s subshell has 1 orbital. Now let's look at the p subshell. Over here, we see it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it can hold 6 electrons. And this is 1 orbital, 2 orbitals, 3 orbitals. We said that every 2 cards, element cards, or 2 columns is 1 orbital. So again, we have 1, 2, 3 orbitals. So it holds 6 electrons and 3 orbitals. Let's finish up with the d subshell. We know that that holds 10 electrons, and again, we can count this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 electrons. We know that every 2 columns or 2 element cards is 1 orbital. So we have 1, 2 orbitals, 3 orbitals, 4, 5 orbitals. All right, 5 orbitals. The next thing I'm going to go over is reading the numbers on the electron configuration. I'm going to do helium as an example. Here is helium. The electron configuration for helium is going to look like this: 1s2. So over here, this is helium. The electron configuration is going to be 1s2. This is going to be the energy level. So your coefficient is your energy level. The S tells us what subshell we're in. And this 2 is going to tell us how many electrons are filled within that subshell. Now let's go over here for 2 steps that we need for writing the electron configuration. Your first step is going to be to find the element that you're looking for. The second step is you're going to write the electron configuration, so the energy level, the subshell that you're in, and how many electrons are filled right before that element, starting from hydrogen. And I'll show you examples of what that means. All right, let's look at some examples. So I'm going to start with lithium. Lithium is found right here. And what you're going to want to do is, it's kind of like you're reading. So you're going to start from top left, right here, and read all the way until you get there. So we know that this is in the first energy level. We know it is in the S subshell. And over here, we know this is filled because you have to get right here. So this is going to be 1s, because you're in the S subshell. There's 2 of them that are filled. So 1s2, that's the first number I'm going to write. 1s2. The next thing I'm going to write is, from here, I move down to the second energy level. So I'm in the second energy level, so 2. So I wrote a 2 down there. I am in the S block. So I'm going to do S. And this is the first one. So this would be 1 electron, 2 electrons. So lithium only has 1 electron filled in the 2s. So it's going to look like that. Now let's do another example. Fluorine. First, I'm going to look for my element. Fluorine, it is right there. Again, pretend that you're reading, so you're going to go from top left down until you find it, right here. So first, you're going to have to go through the first energy level, 1. You're in the S subshell, and you have 2 of these filled, so 1s2. Now you keep going. Now you are on the second row, which you are in the second energy level, so 2. This is the S subshell, so 2s. These 2 are filled, so 2s2. You know that they're filled because you had to go through all of them. So to get to fluorine, you definitely had to go through here, meaning they have to be filled. So 2s2. Now you go here, and you're still in the second energy level. But now let's look up here. Now you are in the P subshell. So we said this was 2s1, 2. Now we're still in the second energy level. So I'm going to do a 2. But I know that this is the P subshell. So 2p. And now you just count how many electrons are filled. So fluorine is right here. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you're going to put a 5 right here. Let's do one last example. Let's do gallium. All right, so like before, let's find our element. Gallium is right here. Now you're going to pretend that you're reading. So you're going to start in this top left, and you're going to just move your finger. These are all the elements or subshells that are going to be filled with electrons up till you get to gallium. So hydrogen and helium, we know those are filled. Over here, you are in the S subshell. This is the first energy level. So 1s2, because helium and hydrogen are filled. Now, if you go like this, like you're reading, the next line would be the second energy level, the S subshell, so 1, 2. So I'm going to put 2s2. Now let's keep going. You're still in the second energy level, but now you are in the P subshell. Over here, we have the P right here. So you're in the 2p. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go ahead and write 2p6. Now let's keep going. The next line is the third energy level. So you are going to write 3. You are in the S, 1, 2, S2. Let's keep going. So 3. This is the P subshell. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3p6. Now we're going to keep going. So this is the fourth energy level. So 4s2, 1, 2. So 4s2. Let's keep going. So 4, and now we know that this is purple. So this is the third energy level. So you're in 3, so the third energy level. This is the D subshell. So I know I'm in 3D right now. So this is 3D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now gallium is right here. So I know this is in the P subshell. Gallium, it is in the 4th energy level, so it's going to be 4p. And it is the first one, so only one electron is filled within that entire subshell. So 4p1. All right, so that's it for our notes. Let me know if you have any questions.